Oh, hi there! It's Vlogmas day 18! Yes? Oh, I'm gonna need to check a calendar. Check a calendar. It's Vlogmas day 18! Hooray! So today I am home alone as usual. I've been doing some work this morning. I managed to actually get out of bed at a reasonable time for a change instead of just feeling depressed and lying in the darkness for hours on end. This has been in my little Vlogmas plan like for the whole of the plan, but I've just never got around to doing it. But today I'm going to show you my technique that I use for making my V60 coffee, because I have finally cracked making it really well, and Ryan's helped me to do this, and Ryan's even made me a spreadsheet that calculates and tells me what to do, because I find it hard to calculate like all the quantities just quickly in my head. So Ryan made me a spreadsheet, so whatever amount of coffee I'm using, I put that in and it tells me all the pours. Anyway, I'm about to show you, but before I do that, I'm just gonna go for a quick run. I'm doing my 10k of my week, and then I'll be back and I'm gonna show you how to make coffee! I'm back. It's really weird whenever I do anything like above a 5k, it's like after the sort of like 4-ish mark, it becomes really hard, and like my legs are just saying stop. I mean, it's like that sounds dramatic, it's not that hard, and then it's always as soon as I get to about 9.5, suddenly I'm like, oh my god, this is okay now. I could probably run like another 10, and it's like, why can't it be like that the whole way? Oh my god, I was just about to start to film me making the coffee and look at the rain. It suddenly started chucking it down. I just missed that. I was so lucky to miss that on my run. I went at exactly the right time. Okay, so we're gonna make some coffee. We're gonna be making coffee using a V60, which I believe can be called like a pour-over method, maybe? I'm not sure, but this is what I use. The main thing that you will need is a V60. It's one of these. They are only plastic. You can get ceramic ones, you can get glass ones. They're not very expensive, to be honest, especially if you get the plastic ones, and they often come in a set for like 20 quid maybe, where you get that and like serving jug to go with it to make your coffee into. I just bought this from Sausage and Green, and I got this when I used to subscribe to Packed Coffee. You need a V60 coffee filter paper. These are the unbleached ones, which I believe these ones might be like okay for the environment. I think you can put them straight into your composter in those, but don't quote me on that, I just think that. You can either make it straight into a mug and make a 1 cup, or you can make it in the jug if you're gonna make more. I'm gonna make more today because I want to have 2 cups of coffee to myself. You'll also need a kettle. I've got one of these fancy gooseneck pour-over kettles, which just basically, you don't need this. You can just use a normal kettle. Before I had this, I just used a normal kettle, and this just gives you a bit of control over the pour, because you kind of want to monitor how much you're putting in if you want to make it in the very specific way that I do. But you can just literally whack it in, it'll filter through, and it'll make a decent cup of coffee, to be honest. So you don't need one of these, but I just happen to have one, mainly, to be honest, because I just like the look of it in my little coffee making area that I have here. And then you also obviously need some ground coffee or coffee beans if you grind them yourself. I've got a grinder, so I'm going to be grinding mine, and I get my beans from my local coffee shop. Shout out to Divine Coffee House, which is here in Sherwood in Nottingham, where I live. They're my local, and their coffee is wonderful and is roasted by 200 Degrees Coffee, who is also a Nottingham-based coffee shop and coffee roasters. For V60 coffee, it's good to use a coarse grind, but it depends what you can buy. Coffee bought from the supermarket, like Starbucks own like house blends and like Taylor's of Harrogate, those kind of coffees and things like that. I think made in a V60, they all tend to be very strong, like punch you in the tits strong, in flavour, and because coffee strength in terms of caffeine is a lot to do with the amount of time that the coffee spends in the water. I know far too much about coffee than an average civilian should know. Let's just get into it. I'm just going to make the coffee. Oh, I also forgot to mention, if you are going to make it in the way that I make it, in this precise way, as you will need a set of scales as well. digital scales are the preference. I don't have the special coffee scales. They're very like super accurate, I believe. These are just some normal digital scales that I use for like everything, like for baking and stuff. So let's make coffee. First thing is to boil the kettle. I'll put a link in the descriptions of this video to the YouTube video that I learned this technique from. I've got my grinder. Use the lid as a scale. So this is going to make 600 milliliters of coffee. So we're going to want to use 40 grams of coffee beans. I don't normally be this precise, to be honest. There we go, 40 grams of coffee. And then whack these into the grinder. You want your beans to be coarse, but I don't like mine all the way. So I put it just in between, somewhere in between the medium and the coarse, and I think that's coarse enough for this. So let's grind. It's a bit noisy. And once the grinding is complete, it's in there. Lovely. Lovely grinds. So the first thing to do, which is important, is to use some of the hot water to rinse the coffee paper. So you just want to wet the filter paper. Let the, I'm a bit like kind of wobbly after me run. Let the water run through, and all that actually is to do is to rinse through the filter paper so you don't get a papery flavour in your coffee. If you're a coffee snob like me and you don't rinse your paper, you would notice. And then you just need to get rid of that. And also that sort of warms your jug a little bit also as well, which is quite nice. Like that. And then we're going to stick our jug on the scales. Pop that on, pop your grinds in. Just tear that again to get that to 0. The first couple of pours, the quantity of those helps to balance the sort of sweetness and the sort of like those flavor profiles of the coffee. It's all about the sweetness, really. So it's going to be 4 pours to get us up to 600 milliliters. I'm going to set this to milliliters because I can, even though I think milliliters and grams are about the same when it comes to water. And so 4 pours, and then like to estimate it, I guess the first one will be about like 99 point something milliliters. Then we'll do about 140, then it's 180 and 180, and then we'll end up with 600 milliliters of lovely, delicious black coffee. And thereabouts, you want to leave about 45 seconds between each of the pours. You can time that if you want. I really don't think it has to be as precision as that. So basically you're using the scales to help you measure your water, and you just want to pour the water in a nice sort of circular motion, I tend to do. And we're going to get this up to 99 milliliters. It doesn't have to be exact, honestly, don't worry about it. There we go, we've gone just over, it's about 100. And then we're going to leave that to go for 45 seconds, and then we'll do the rest of the pours. A lot of people do ask me why I can be bothered to make coffee in this way, and to be fair, I didn't used to like it, but I think, especially during like lockdown and stuff like that, I think this has become the way I make coffee, like on a weekend or just when I have at the time, and it just, there's something about it, it feels like a therapeutic process that I just really enjoy. And I think, as much as I like my Nespresso machine and like I like having a cafetiere and all that, genuinely this is the best cup of coffee you'll ever have. It just tastes so like fresh and clean, and it's just wonderful. And I am a black coffee drinker as well, so obviously this is perfect for me. I wouldn't advise doing this kind of coffee if you want it with milk, because I don't think it really works. So 45 seconds later we do our second pour, which is going to take us up to about 240 milliliters. So this one is about 140 milliliters, I think I said. We're on to the next one. So this next one, this will be 180 milliliters, which will take us up to about, I think 420 milliliters. God, I may have got that wrong, but we'll see. And then I do have a little timer on my watch because I'm a little bit crazy. So, oh, that's the alarm. Oh, we're losing time. And there we go. And so this is the final pour, which will take us up to 600 milliliters. And then you don't really need to time this one for 45 seconds, to be honest, because it is the last one. So as long as all the water filters through, I think you'll be fine. And there we go. My perfect jug of Joe, as they say. So let me get a bit closer for you so you can just see the little pour. It's a heavenly cup of Joe. Let's have a taste. Smells good. Oh yeah, spot on. I've got a weird fascination with methods of making coffee, and I've tried a lot of them. I've had a lot of the gadgets, but this is genuinely the one that always comes back to me as my absolute hands down favorite. That may not have been interesting to everybody, but I've been wanting to share it for some reason because I find it really interesting how I make my coffee, and like it is a therapeutic thing. And today is my last work day, so I've had my run and I'm going to get back and do the rest of my working day as well. And then at the end of the day, I'll be editing this vlog. It's Laura! This is how we can see each other. We're just having coffee and a chat, and this would normally be shared between us. I've made it for you. Ooh, look, ooh, look, I'm pouring it into your cup, look. Oh, Juno, she heard my voice. You were sad recently because you said you wanted to be in a vlog, so you're in one.
I know, it's weird because normally I see you so much at Christmas and now we're not allowed to be together.
It sucks, it totally sucks. Would you like to say the end with me? The okay, we love you. Okay, love you. Goodbye, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Can't be.
Okay. So, well, I'll say thanks very much for watching, and then, okay. So thanks very much for watching. Okay. We love you. It doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work.
I've always been so bad at doing the ending.
You just say it for me. Thanks very much for watching.
I love you. Goodbye.